Sup, folks? This is Dan from Discern. Welcome to episode 14 of the Discern Recap. On this show, I bring you a hand-picked selection of recommendations of new albums, EPs, or singles from the broad category of Christian music. New episodes release every Wednesday. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to this channel. That would be swell. If you want to reach out, make your voice heard, you can comment below. You could tweet at me at Discern Reviews. You could email me, discernreviews@gmail.com. You may be wondering, what the heck is up with the title of this video? Where's the artists? You know, the title of the video usually lists the artists I'm recommending, but there's no artist listed. And instead there's some other jumble of words. Well, folks, it finally happened. You know, Dan, the curmudgeon, that's me, old grumpy Gus, does not have any new recommendations this week. You could say I'm too picky, you know, I think too highly of my own opinion. I don't have enough of an open mind. All of those are true on some level. But I did my best to give the music this week a good fair shake. And after about 5 hours of listening, I got nothing. Nothing this week reached out and grabbed me. Nothing spoke to me, resonated with me. This isn't to say that, you know, it was a heaping pile of garbage by any means. In fact, let me break down some of the near misses, if you will. Stuff I enjoyed a little bit, but really wasn't wowed by. Let's see, we got D1 with his single Against Us. It's a remix, actually. Loved the instrumental. I was very curious about the lyrics too, especially the features from Big Crit and Lupe Fiasco, new verses basically on this remix. But I was disappointed in how bland and watery the bars ended up being. We also had Kingdom Muzic, the single Forgive. Great lyrical content, but cheap, sort of uninteresting production from the instrumental, very fake sounding synth instruments, like distractingly fake. We also had Lecrae with the single Illuminati. Oh, Illuminate. Freudian. No, he's not in the Illuminati. I don't believe that. But it is a perfectly ironic name in that sense. This track was instrumentally on point. You know, love the horns, love the bass lines. The flow was typical Lecrae, very controlled and punchy. But the lyrics were just completely generic. Hallmark cardisms. Lots of phrases we've heard 1,000 times before. We had an EP, Tasan, the EP Live, or Live. It's probably Live. Refreshing reggae flavors and influences throughout these hip-hop instrumentals. But even on this little 5-track EP, it's less than 20 minutes. It wasn't a consistent packaged release. You know, some tracks featured like a heavy electronic, almost EDM instrumental. And at other times the instrumental was acoustic and had some Spanish influences. Look, that's all fine on their own, but this became a real mess, you know, when all these motifs and styles are jammed into a tiny EP. We got Sevin and his album Purple Heart. First of all, too long of an album. I could barely get through it because the whole thing was just decent. You know, it was not grabbing me, and it was over an hour. His lyrical skill and his flow, decent. The instrumentals, decent. Nothing really rocking my world here. And it doesn't help that in terms of my concept of how much I'm really digging the album, he decided to label his tracks explicit, all of them, when they weren't. He does say the N-word a few times, and even uses a metaphor saying Satan is a, quote, sucker like fellatio. Good gracious, man, grow up. But this album is not explicit, and it comes off very confusing to label it so. I heard an interview with him where he says he labeled it explicit because it mentions things like murder, rape, drug use. You know, he's being real, he's being gritty. I get it, but this is mild when held up against anything that actually earns an explicit label. And so it's confusing in that sense. A few others I liked, a few other releases that I liked but wasn't amazed by. Adalid, his EP Before Greatness, The Grey Havens, Ghost of a King, Cutright and Ike Hill, their collaboration Chicken and Dumplings. Look, all these releases, those three and the other ones I mentioned, anywhere from like a 4 to a 6 out of 10, pretty middle of the road. Stuff I've recommended in the past has been like a 7 or higher. These were okay releases, that's about it. Most of them had some moments of real excitement, sometimes whole tracks that were really exciting, really interesting, sometimes just a verse or just a chorus. But these moments did not last very long, and in the end, the releases as a whole just felt good, not great. So that's it. That's that. I will link all these releases in the description box below so that you can form your own opinion. This is all my opinion, I'm not that smart. I'm not a masterful music critic. I'm just trying to listen carefully, discern the good from the bad, the interesting from the uninteresting. But you may, and in fact you probably, feel differently about some of these releases, and I do want to hear your thoughts. So if you listen to any of these releases, I want to hear from you. What did you think? Maybe you did agree with me. Maybe you didn't. That's totally fine. So hopefully I will have some recommendations for you next week. I am almost sure that I will. This is a rare occasion. But when it does happen again, it'll probably happen again somewhere down the line. I'll still have a video for you. I'll blab on camera a bit. I got a lot of things I could talk about. Things hopefully you'd be excited about. Things related to Christian music, related to music in general. Music critique, what that even is. Is it worth anything? There's a lot I could talk about. So I hope you're having a good week so far. Take care. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're so inclined. Probably not a good video to encourage you to subscribe on. I didn't really talk about a whole lot. But anyway, I hope this helped. See ya.